Hi, everyone. It's Front Row Phyllis. His music comes from an unshakable sense of purpose, a belief in building beauty from life's most painful moments. Yep, with breakthrough hits such as If You Love Her, Fall Into Love, Give You Love, and so many more. We are thrilled to welcome Canadian pop singer songwriter Forrest Blakk. Thank you for joining us.
Such a
It is.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's an awesome. We talked a little off camera. You're back on tour. Does it feel amazing?
Yeah, I mean it's my first ever headlining tour, so I've been joking about it on stage. Like I feel like I've always been like the best man, never the groom, you
Right.
know? And so like now I feel like I'm the groom and it's positively overwhelming. Like the fact that people are showing up, selling out venues, and it's just for me and what I wrote and sang during a
Right.
crazy pandemic. This is like, wow.
Right. I know. Isn't that crazy that pandemic, which all of us shut down for a few years in this business, that actually positivity came out of it, right?
Yeah, I never stopped. Like
Right.
right as the pandemic was happening, my music started taking off. So
Yes.
I haven't had a break, and it's been a very wild 3 years of my life.
It's like you write these songs and you hope and you throw it out there that it's going to be a hit, but sometimes they may or may not be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've written thousands of songs. I've got 3 EPs out, and now
Right.
vinyl, and it's like every song I've ever written, I was like, wow, this is such a special song. But for whatever reason, one song will do something special, while another one maybe doesn't reach as many people, and
Right.
it's all a trip. It's I'm still surprised. Like this past winter I turned on the Olympics, and one of my songs was in the Olympics, and I'm
Right.
like, how did what is happening?
Wow.
So it's
What does
very
that
surreal.
feel like?
It's surreal. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
most people don't know, but like a few years ago, I was living in the back of a car.
Right.
So like from that to being here
Right.
every day is just absolutely wild.
Yeah.
I
It's
said
like a
I
blessing.
said yeah,
Yeah.
it's just life in motion. It's like you're always a day away from your life changing. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you're having a bad
Right.
day, tomorrow could be the day where everything switches.
Right. So love seems to be a very common thread in your music. So why do you think it's so important? I mean, for the obvious reasons, but you tell us, why is it so important to put it in your music?
I think that growing up, I didn't see much of it. I never really knew what, romantic love looked like, or really love. So I kind of had to piece it together growing up, and
Mhm.
it's like a song on the new album. I hope you know. It's about my nana who took me in when I was a kid and I was homeless as a teenager, and she brought me into her house, and she's actually my stepfather's stepmother. So like there's a part of the song where I say different blood never stopped you from choosing love instead of letting go. It's that. It's not conventional. It's not like, you grow up in a great household and you see love from your parents and you're like, oh, this is what it's going to look like.
Right.
I always saw the opposite of it. I saw the antithesis. So I was like, I think as I grew up, I've always been enamored by love stories, or maybe the philosophy of love. I've always thought that like you wouldn't give $1 billion away to hate someone, but you'd give $1 billion for a minute more with the person you love. So it's it seems like such a bigger idea, and I've never been able to fully capture it. So I think that's why I write so many songs about it.
It's funny when you talk to people, and I'm sure you've done this forever, to talk to people about what that song means to them. Everybody has a different interpretation. It's interesting,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, it is a wild thing. First, I had no idea. I remember that day we weren't supposed to write. I called up a friend of mine, and a relationship had ended, and the final door had been closed, and we just went to hang out. And we were talking, and then we ended up getting in the room together, and I said, let's get inspired. And he's like, I don't want to even be inspired today, and I picked up the guitar, and that's what started coming out. I think I do remember finishing the song and being in awe of the moment. Like I was like, what a special moment. You never really know what a song will do, because I'd never experienced that before.
Right.
But I remember sitting there and listening to the final like demo of the day, and I remember driving over to my manager's house, and I said, you really need to listen to this. There's something really special about it. And then it just kept going. Every single person I showed it to, this is really special, and
Did
it
they
really
all feel the
captured me.
same way?
Yeah, there was like a fabric of it. People were like, whoa, this, like, someone who doesn't cry all of a sudden is welling up. And they're like, what's happening to me?
Right.
And to the second part of your question, the response, I've been calling it the echo because I don't have a better word for it, but
Yeah.
I feel like I climbed to the top of a mountaintop with my heart in tow, and I was just screaming at the top of my lungs to get the feeling out. And as I was sitting there feeling relieved from working out all those emotions, I started hearing these echoes back from all these other mountaintops of people being like, I also feel that, or I hear you. And then, we made a music video and touched on a different way that that song comes to life, which was a father who's passed on and his daughter's getting married and she wishes he was there.
Mm.
And so people have watched that video and said, oh, my father's passed on, and that's exactly what he would want the person I'm marrying to hear. He'd want him to hear these words or her to hear these words. And so that's been incredibly special. And so now the thousands and thousands of people who reach out constantly telling me that the song is theirs, and I love that. I guess that as a songwriter is the biggest compliment. It's not
Right.
about me anymore. It's about, like, I got it out of me the day of, but they're all getting it out now, and it's like, and they're part of it. So it's wow.
That is
Yeah, that's all I
wow.
can say.
So, we talked a little off camera about this. If you could talk to your 12-year-old self, what do you think you would say?
I think about that every single day.
Yeah.
I think I just turned 12 or turned 13. My father got arrested and went to prison, and my mom wasn't able to take care of us, and so life looked pretty bleak.
Mhm.
It lost all the colors to it. It became black and white really really early on, and I didn't really see much of a future. So if I had a chance to go back, man, what I would tell him just to hang on, that, like, it's okay. And I think that that's kind of what I try and put in the music for
Right.
everybody, whether it's about love or whether it's about your mental health or whether it's about
Mhm.
anything, just hang on. Like,
Right.
you never know. You're a smile away from a laugh.
As you look out into the seas and you see the audience not only singing your songs, but they know every single word. It's almost helpful because if you forget a word, you just have to listen to them.
Perfect.
Right?
I do forget lyrics from time to time, so it is very nice to just pull off the mic and be like, okay, you guys hold me up. It is
Exactly.
incredible. Like, it is, again, like, I don't have better words than wow or overwhelming in such positive ways. Like, just sit there and watch a sea of people singing the song back is unbelievable. And I genuinely love my fans. Like, I'm a bit of a weirdo. Like, I put my number out so fans can text me, and I text with them all day long. And like, I love this thing. I love this whole relationship that I get with them, and that I get to be an artist that they pick and want to allow into their hearts and their ears. And I need them as much as they need
Right.
me. And so it's super
Yeah.
special having them like come out, and then every night at the end of the show, like, I've been committed to this idea for as long as I can, at least, to meet every single person that wants to meet me. So at the end of every show, I do like
Wow.
an unpaid meet and greet, basically. I just want people to come up and say hi, and
That's
that.
incredible. Well, Forrest, thank you so much. I know that you got a crazy busy day. We are so excited for tonight's show. Thank you again for taking the time and good luck on the rest of the tour.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. What an honor. This is such a pleasure. So thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk with me.
Take it. If she gives you her heart, don't you break it. Let your arms be a place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her on days when it feels like the whole world might cave in. Stand side by side and you'll make it. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her like that.